Right, my friends, everyone, welcome to the channel. Forget everything you thought you knew about cooking for a crowd because today we are not messing around. We are diving headfirst, no holding back, into some absolutely mouth-watering, show-stopping Memorial Day food ideas. I'm talking dishes that will have your family and friends not just impressed, but utterly speechless, wondering which top-notch kitchen you've been hiding in. So if you're ready to elevate your game from backyard burger flipper to culinary superstar, then you're in the right place. Let's get started, and no slacking. This isn't just about chucking a few sad sausages on a rusty grill, is it? No. Memorial Day is a time to remember, to celebrate, and to share incredible food with the people you care about. It's about making an effort, showing some passion, and putting dishes on the table that scream, "I actually care." We're not aiming for good enough, we're aiming for absolutely brilliant. I want to see precision, I want to see flavor, and most importantly, I want to see you take pride in what you're creating. So wipe those worried looks off your faces and get ready to learn something. What can you expect from me today? Pure, unadulterated culinary dynamite, that's what. We're going to tackle some absolute classics, but we're going to do them properly. No shortcuts, no half measures, just incredible techniques that will transform simple ingredients into something truly special. I'll guide you, I'll push you, and I'll make sure you understand we do things a certain way. Because cooking isn't just about following a recipe like a mindless robot. It's about understanding flavor, texture, and timing. Get those right, and you're golden. So sharpen your knives, clear your counters, and for goodness sake, pay attention. This isn't a coffee party. We're on a mission to create a Memorial Day feast that will be talked about for years to come. Are you with me? Good. Because the clock is ticking, the grills are waiting, and there's absolutely no room for amateurs today. Let's ignite those taste buds and get down to some serious cooking. No excuses, just delicious results. Now, let's go. The undisputed star of any Memorial Day gathering, BBQ ribs. We are aiming for delicious, fall-off-the-bone, tender, smoky, flavor-packed perfection. These ribs are the showstopper, the dish that makes Uncle Barry forget his potato salad. Let's talk about the meat itself. Your main contenders are baby back ribs or St. Louis-style spare ribs. Look for good marbling and avoid anything gray or dried out. With the membrane gone, it's time to build the first layer of incredible flavor. The rub. Massage that rub into every nook and cranny of the meat. This is your foundation for greatness. All right, ribs are prepped, seasoned, and looking fantastic. The golden rule for ribs is low and slow. Say it with me, low and slow. We're talking hours, not minutes. Maintain a consistent low temperature, around 225 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Infuse with smoke for complex, aromatic flavor. Transform that tough rack into a tender, succulent masterpiece. Now, after hours of patient cooking, your ribs should be incredibly tender, but we're not quite at the finish line yet, friends. It's time to talk sauce. The BBQ sauce is the glamorous finishing touch, the lick of paint on your culinary Ferrari. You can make your own, and if you do, aim for a balance of sweet, tangy, and a little spicy. Or if you're using store-bought, make sure to read the label. Avoid anything that's just high fructose corn syrup and artificial smoke flavor. Get something with character. Something that complements the rub and the smoke, not something that just smothers it in sugary glue. When and how to apply the sauce is critical. Don't slather these ribs in sauce from the very beginning of the cook. The sugars in the sauce will burn, turning your beautiful ribs into a bitter, charred mess. You want to apply the sauce in the last 30 minutes to an hour of cooking. Brush on a thin layer, let it set and caramelize. Then maybe add another thin layer. We're building up a glaze, a beautiful, sticky mahogany sheen, not creating a sauce swimming pool. Less is often more, especially when the ribs themselves are already packed with flavor. How do you know when they're perfectly done? Forget stabbing them with a fork like a barbarian. We're looking for visual cues and feel. The meat should have pulled back from the bones by about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. If you pick up the rack with tongs, it should bend significantly, with the surface cracking but not fall apart completely. That fall off the bone thing is often a sign of overcooked, mushy ribs. We want tender, but with a little bite, a little integrity. That's the sweet spot of rib perfection. And finally, the most overlooked step by impatient amateurs, resting. Once they're sauced and perfectly tender, take them off the heat, tent them loosely with foil, and let them rest for at least 15 to 20 minutes. This allows the juices to redistribute throughout the meat, ensuring every bite is succulent. If you slice into them straight away, all that gorgeous moisture will just pour out onto your cutting board. What a waste! After resting, slice between the bones, pile them high, and watch your guests smile with joy. Now that is how you do BBQ ribs. Right, you've just conquered the Everest of BBQ ribs. Your guests are in a meat-induced coma of happiness, but what's next? You need something to cut through that richness, something bright, something vibrant, something utterly refreshing. And that, my friends, is where this stunning watermelon feta salad comes into play. Forget those limp, boring lettuce concoctions. This salad is a burst of summer in a bowl, a cool breeze on a hot day, and the perfect, elegant counterpoint to those smoky, savory ribs. It's light, it's zesty, and it's absolutely delicious. The absolute star of this show, no arguments, is the watermelon. And I don't want to see any of that pale, mealy, flavorless stuff you find languishing in the supermarket in January. No, for this salad, you need a watermelon that screams summer. Look for one that's heavy for its size, has a creamy yellow field spot where it rested on the ground, and gives a deep, hollow sound when you thump it. It should be intensely sweet, incredibly juicy, and vibrant red. Getting the right watermelon is half the battle, so choose wisely, or don't bother. Now, how you cut this glorious fruit actually matters. You could go for classic cubes, about 1 inch square, ensuring they're uniform for a neat presentation. Or, if you're feeling a bit fancy, use a melon baller for elegant spheres. Wedges can also work if they're not too chunky. The key is consistency and ensuring the pieces are bite-sized. Nobody wants to wrestle with a giant, awkward slab of watermelon while trying to look sophisticated at your magnificent Memorial Day spread. Think about the eating experience, folks. Precision, even in a salad. And here's a tip that'll elevate your salad from nice to wow. Make sure your watermelon is properly chilled, ice cold. This isn't just about preference, it intensifies the refreshing quality of the fruit and makes the sweetness pop even more. Cut it, then get it straight into the fridge for at least a couple of hours before you even think about assembling the salad. Warm watermelon in a salad is a culinary crime, a tragedy, an insult to summer itself. Cold, crisp, and bursting with flavor. That's what we're aiming for. Don't disappoint me. Okay, you've got your perfectly chilled, beautifully cut watermelon. But a salad isn't just one ingredient, is it? It's a team effort, a delicate dance of flavors and textures. And the next key player on this all-star team is feta cheese. Proper Greek feta, creamy, tangy, and wonderfully salty. That salty touch against the sweet watermelon, magic. Next up, we need herbs, fresh herbs. Fresh mint is an absolute superstar. Fresh basil works wonderfully too. Thinly sliced red onion adds a savory bite. Keep it simple, keep it light. A classic vinaigrette is all you need. Balance, folks, it's all about balance. You've got all your stunning components prepped. The ice-cold watermelon, the creamy feta, the vibrant herbs, the finely sliced red onion, and that perfectly balanced light vinaigrette. Now it's time to bring it all together. Gently combine the watermelon, feta, red onion, and most of the fresh herbs in a large, chilled bowl. Add the vinaigrette just before serving. Drizzle it over, toss gently, and then it's ready for its grand entrance. Timing is everything. Want to elevate it? Add toasted pistachios or slivered almonds. Remember, fresh, light, and refreshing. Transfer to a beautiful serving platter. Garnish with the remaining fresh herbs. It should say, "Eat me, I'm delicious and I'm good for you." Beautiful. All right, my friends, we're taking something you might not get right: grilled corn. Yes, corn. Not just a simple side dish, we're talking beautifully charred, smoky, sweet kernels. This isn't just a side, this is a statement. With know-how and passion, turn simple ingredients into something extraordinary. Before firing up the grill, let's talk about the star, the corn itself. You need fresh, plump, vibrant sweet corn. Tassels should be golden or light brown and sticky. If it feels like a deflated football, put it back. All right, you've picked decent corn. Well done. How do you prepare this golden treasure for grilling? Pull back the husks, remove the silks, then rewrap the corn. It's about control, flavor, and not being lazy. We want beautiful, dark char marks and caramelized sweetness. Now get ready for the magic. All right, now that we've hopefully shown you how to treat a beautiful ear of corn with the respect it deserves, let's talk about what's going to take it from simply good to absolutely sensational. I'm talking about a zesty, vibrant, kick-in-the-taste-buds spicy mayo. This isn't just a sauce, it's an explosion of flavor designed to complement that sweet, smoky corn perfectly. It's the difference between a decent effort and a showstopper. It should be creamy, spicy, tangy, and utterly addictive. It's an integral part of the dish, a vibrant counterpoint to the sweet char of the corn. Your ticket to being the undisputed champion of the Memorial Day barbecue. All right, my friends, the moment of truth has arrived. Your corn should be perfectly grilled, tender, juicy, with those beautiful char marks. Now it's time to introduce it to its perfect partner, that glorious, zesty, spicy mayonnaise. Brush it on generously, ensuring every nook and cranny gets a loving coat. A true masterpiece needs its finishing touches, those little details that elevate it. And there you have it, grilled corn transformed into an absolute flavor sensation. For dessert, we're not settling for some store-bought cake that tastes like cardboard. We're creating a masterpiece, a berry trifle. This isn't just a dessert, it's a statement, a grand finale that will have your guests speechless, and for all the right reasons. A proper trifle is a symphony of textures and flavors, a towering monument to deliciousness. It's light, it's fruity, it's creamy, and it looks absolutely stunning. This is how you finish a Memorial Day feast with a bang, not a whimper. So listen, and listen well. Now, when I say berries, I mean fresh, vibrant, seasonal berries. Don't even think about using those sad, frozen excuses for fruit that have been lurking in your freezer since last Christmas, all mushy and weeping. We want plump, juicy strawberries, beautiful blueberries, tart raspberries, glistening blackberries, the works. The quality of your fruit will make or break this trifle. It's about respecting the ingredients, letting their natural sweetness and color shine through. This is where you show you actually care about what you're serving, not just throwing things in a bowl. Get the best, or don't bother at all. All right, let's talk about the foundation of this glorious tower, the cake. You need something that's got a bit of substance, something that can hold its own when it meets the fruit and cream. A good quality pound cake cut into neat cubes works beautifully. Or as I said, ladyfingers are a classic choice, elegant and absorbent. What you don't want is some dry, crumbly cake that turns to mush the second it sees a drop of liquid. It needs to be tender, yes, but with enough structure to provide a satisfying texture. Don't use leftover birthday cake that's been sitting around for a week. Next up, those beautiful berries. Rinse them gently, don't bruise them. Hull your strawberries, pick over your raspberries. You can leave them whole or slice the larger ones. Now here's a tip from a pro: a little maceration. Toss them with a tiny bit of sugar, just a whisper, and maybe a splash of a complimentary liqueur, Grand Marnier for an orange kick, or Chambord for more berry intensity. Let them sit for 20 minutes. This draws out their juices and deepens their flavor. It makes them glisten. It's these little details that elevate your dish from amateur hour to something truly special. Right, you've got your components prepped to perfection. Now the assembly. A beautiful clear glass trifle bowl is essential. A trifle is a visual delight. You want to see those gorgeous, distinct layers. The clarity of the glass allows the colors of the fruit, the cream, and the cake to stand out. Start with a layer of cake cubes, then berries and cream. Repeat until you reach the top. The top layer needs to be a showstopper. Pile on the remaining cream, making it look fluffy and inviting. Garnish with fresh berries and a sprig of mint. Chill for at least 4 hours. Patience. All right, you've wowed them with the food, but what are they going to wash it all down with? Some lukewarm, sad cans of soda? Not on my watch. We're making a proper lemonade punch, a big, beautiful bowl of refreshment that screams celebration. A punch is brilliant for a crowd like your Memorial Day gathering. It's easy to serve, everyone can help themselves, and it looks absolutely fantastic as a centerpiece. It's welcoming, it's vibrant, and it shows you've thought about every detail, not just putting a few bottles on a table and hoping for the best. This is hospitality, done right. Now the heart and soul of this punch is, of course, the lemonade. And I'm not talking about that artificial powdered stuff that tastes of chemicals and regret. We're making it from scratch with real, actual lemons. Freshly squeezed lemon juice is non-negotiable. Get a good juicer, put some elbow grease into it, or get those teenagers of yours to do it. The balance of tart lemon, sweet sugar, and clean water is absolutely crucial. It needs to be zesty, refreshing, and perfectly balanced. Too sweet is sickly, too tart is just mean. Get this base right, and you're halfway to punch perfection. Right, you've got your fantastic lemonade base. Now let's take it from simply good to absolutely amazing. We can do this by layering in other complementary flavors. Think about adding other fruit juices. A splash of cranberry juice can add a lovely tartness and a beautiful rosy hue. A bit of orange juice can bring a sweeter citrus note. Even a touch of pineapple juice can add a tropical twist. But don't go overboard and turn it into a fruit cocktail swamp, you hear me? We're looking for harmony, not a chaotic mess of competing flavors. 1 or 2 additions, chosen carefully, is all you need. Next, let's talk fresh fruit. Sliced lemons, oranges, and limes look beautiful floating in the punch and infuse it with even more zesty flavor. Fresh berries, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, add pops of color and a lovely sweetness. You could even add some thinly sliced cucumber for a surprisingly refreshing, sophisticated note. The key is to use fruit that not only tastes good but also looks attractive. Remember, you eat and drink with your eyes first. And as the fruit mingles with the lemonade, it releases its juices, making the punch even more delicious over time. Your punch is delightful. Presentation is key. Use a large, elegant punch bowl or a stylish dispenser. Keep it chilled with large ice blocks or creative ice rings. Serve in attractive glassware, garnished with lemon or mint. Elevate the experience, make it memorable, keep it vibrant and flowing, host like a pro. Right, so there you have it. A full collection of brilliant recipes to make your Memorial Day a triumph. From fall-off-the-bone BBQ ribs to vibrant watermelon feta salad, grilled corn with zesty mayo, and show-stopping berry trifle. Don't forget the lemonade punch. You're now ready to impress in the kitchen. No excuses for bland food this holiday. Get in there and cook with passion. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic Memorial Day. For more amazing food and drinks tips and recipes, subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. Tell us about your thoughts in the comments section. Check out our other videos for more culinary inspiration. We love you. Until next time, keep cooking, stay adventurous.